if you lift heavy as a woman, you're not gonna all of a sudden, oh no, I'm a competitive bodybuilder. Who would have thought? Oh, it's like, no, stop.
It's good. All right. So this one is more specific to women, and you'll understand what I mean when I ask the question. So, do heavy weights make you bulk in size?
No, it has absolutely nothing to do with it. Stress and adaptation applied by time causes a muscle to grow in size. If you're lengthening it and contracting it in a controlled manner and you have adequate nutritional intake, universal for men, women across the board, but
Yeah.
women don't have enough testosterone to facilitate growth in large amounts. Again, like if you keep playing the game at a high enough intensity level, keep fueling for long enough, all right, yeah, you might start to lose some of your feminine features, but it's so slow and you can see it happening from so far out that it's, my traps are getting a little too big. Okay. The beauty of muscle. Your body doesn't want to hold on to it for very long if it doesn't have a reason to, because it's so calorically costly for it. And again, we're always trying to preserve energy. So just stop training your traps for like 2 weeks and you'll start to see them get smaller and they'll start to revert back to that level that you're seeking. But no, if you lift heavy as a woman, you're not gonna all of a sudden, oh no, I'm a competitive bodybuilder. Who would have thought? Oh, it's like, no, stop. You don't have to
Yeah.
worry about it. I promise you.
Yeah. So it was in the New York Times, actually. There was a Dr. Jacob Selim, who is a physician from Mayo Clinic, who researched this topic, the idea of muscle strengthening, and he looked into bodybuilders and athletic women and just general population. He kind of did a study trying to figure out like what was the amount of volume that they were training and rep ranges and weighted volume. And he found that the ones that were increased in bulk and size, they all had one thing in common: the amount of time that they had done an exercise over a long period of time, like over an extensive period. So, like, if you're just doing, even if you were doing heavy weights and you're just focusing on like chest once a week, and you did that maybe, I don't know, 2 times in a month, it wasn't enough consistent like change and as far as adaptation to make that muscle grow. It would take years and years of consistency, and you'd have to push to like maximum fatigue to tear that muscle and to grow it, because it doesn't just happen in a year's time. So he's quoted actually saying, "It takes a lot of effort to build the Popeye muscle. It doesn't just happen with typical strength training." So typical strength training just meaning just the general gym goer. So heavy weights do not bulk you up. Furthermore, in the study, he also looked at which people had larger muscles, the ones who did the heavier weight training or the ones that did lighter weights and did them for more reps. What do you think he found out?
Oh, volume's king, always. Your maximum force output through one muscle, I don't think would be the thing that would bait to the most size, at least not with uh, conventional strength training methods and not some additives being added, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So he found that exactly that is it didn't matter about the weight that they were pushing. It depended on the volume of your training, meaning reps times sets, where you're just getting times that weight to try to figure out the volume of weight that was being moved over a period of time and what they were doing as far as supplements or protein or additional with their nutrition. Is the ones that weren't adequately supplying the nutrition quality to the background, that were just pushing weights, didn't grow as much size as those who were doing maybe even lighter weights, more reps, but had an adequate recovery slash nutrition.
Cool. I think a lot of it comes back from just like the stigma of women in the weight room. And that's like all the way back to like the 70s, right? Where you there were no women in the weight room. That was not a thing. And as years went on, of course, we figured out that that's a load of nonsense. And, women who weight train look amazing. Like just absolutely amazing. And social media, as much as I do kind of like to dog on it a little bit, has been absolutely fantastic for this, because now we have millions of examples of these amazing female athletes that just look drop dead gorgeous too, and so feminine still. And I think it's dispelled a lot of it, but we of course still need to constantly keep reaffirming that, hey, you can be really, really strong and be a woman and still look very feminine. That's totally cool and totally absolutely attainable for everybody.
Yeah. It was it's the lacking in testosterone that makes it harder for women to actually, what you said in the beginning, that is men will have, that makes it easier for them to actually develop more muscle quicker than it has for women. So it actually takes a lot more involved recuperating strength training than it does for a man to just put on muscle or size.
Ooh, those PC groups gonna come after you for that one, Tyler. I
You
can already
know,
feel it in the
it's
comment section.
science. It's science, man. Unfortunately, it's just that's the truth. If you wanted to be a woman and gain as much size, if I was going to have three women do the same strength training as three men and they did the same volume, those guys are going to grow larger muscles in a shorter period of time.
Every time.
It's just every time.